round 18 edition of the Club Moala Murray Football League show. I'm Nathaniel Dedman once again, joined by Georgina Cahill from the Shepparton News. Georgina, thanks for your time and thanks for coming down again.
Yeah, my absolute pleasure. Look, last round coming up this weekend. It's going to be do or die for some teams.
It certainly is, and 5 sides sit locked on 44 premiership points. So we're talking third all the way down to 7th, which is amazing. And it was a pretty interesting round, which, as I mentioned before we started, we only got one wrong with Echuca United falling, but the winners included Deniliquin Rams, Nathalia, Rumballara, Barooga, Moama and Finley. And as we mentioned on last week's show, talking about that, Nathalia, the possibility of jumping to third became a reality. But have we ever seen a football side that with the last round, the side sitting third can still miss finals?
I know, it's absolutely incredible, and it's a real possibility for the Purples this weekend. They've got a really big game coming up.
They certainly do. That just proves the closeness and competitiveness of the Murray Football League. Now, the first game we are going to cover off on is Barooga versus Finley. Now, that's a game between 2nd and 4th. Who's going to take this and why?
Oh, look, it's so hard to pick. It really is. I think that the Hawks going to be pretty fired up. There is more on the line for them, although Finley and Rumba are battling for top spot. I think the Hawks are going to get the job done this weekend.
Now, the next one is Echuca United taking on Numurkah. Echuca United obviously falling last weekend. This one is one of 2 dead rubbers for the round that isn't going to affect the place of finals. Numurkah brought down to earth last weekend after a win the week prior against Kingupna. Are there any chance to get back in the winner's circle?
Look, I don't think Scott Beattie's side should take this one too lightly. I mean, they're expected to get the win, and they absolutely should, but I don't think they want to try and do anything too special this weekend.
Moala versus Tongala is the next one that doesn't have an impact on finals. Both sides, though, will be playing for plenty of pride. Who do you think's got this one?
Yeah, look, I think Moala will take this one. I think again, similar story to the Echuca game. Pretty straightforward, but don't want to try and do anything too silly this weekend.
Finally, the Cobram Tigers have a very winnable game. They take on Kingupna. No disrespect to Kingupna, but this one will actually be a pretty good game between 2 sides that are on each other's wavelength. Do you think the Tigers can break their duck for season 2014 and finish on a high?
Look, absolutely, and I think everyone out there that follows the competition is hoping that that they get a win for the season, and what better time to do it in the last round of the season.
Nathalia, as we mentioned, currently sitting in 3rd place, but can slip out of the 6th. They take on Rumballara, who are absolutely flying at the moment. It is interesting to note that over the last 2 rounds, Damien Cupido has slotted an amazing 18 goals through the middle of the big sticks, but last time they played Nathalia, there was about a 30-point drubbing for Rumba, and Cupido was held to only 2 goals. So Nathalia know how to win against Rumba. Can they do it again?
Well, the Purples certainly understand Rumba's game plan pretty well, and they can combat that. Noteworthy also is the inclusion of Brad Dick last weekend, and we're expecting that he'll line up again this weekend, which is huge news for Rumba. Obviously a former AFL player himself. It's going to be a huge game, there's no doubt about it. Obviously home game for Rumba as well. Their grounds don't differ too much. I think Rumba's might be just a little bit wider, but I think the home team's going to get the win this weekend.
And the final game for round 18 is Moama facing Denny. Now, Moama, as we mentioned, any side that finishes just outside the 6 can be pretty stiff not to play finals, and they have, unfortunately. So they're going to be coming out and hoping for a massive win to end their season, which, even though they've missed finals, has been nothing short of fantastic. Denny obviously need the win to make finals, as everybody who's on that 44 premiership points does. Who's going to take this one?
Yeah, look, I think there's plenty more at stake for Denny this weekend. Obviously their percentage is letting them down. It's do or die. If they don't win this one, they're out. If they do, they need someone else to lose. So there's plenty on the line. I think they're going to be pretty fired up this weekend.
And to put you on the spot once again, which is the side that you think is going to be unlucky and finish in 7th place?
I hate to say this, but I think the Purples might be in a bit of trouble.
I think you can exit where you came in. Thank you very much. I'm going to go with Denny. I think Denny, it's a game against Moama, who certainly are no pushovers and are going to be fighting hard. I think Denny's going to be on the short end of the straw there, but who knows? Both of us could be wrong. It's an interesting round with still plenty to play. Finals coming up as well, which is going to be interesting. Are you still running with your tip that you had last time?
Yeah, I said Rumba. I thought it would be a Rumba Echuca United grand final. Look, I just can't go past Rumba at the moment, especially with the inclusion of Brad Dick, which is absolutely huge for the side. I'm going to stand my ground for this week, but might be a different story next weekend.
Who knows? We'll see you back next week with the Club My Whale Up Murray Football League final show, the first for the campaign. Georgina, thanks once again for your time and for coming down and sharing your expertise.
Absolute pleasure. It's going to be a cracking round this weekend.
It is. Make sure you get down and support your side, because for many of you, it's going to be the last chance to see your current roster as it is for the year of 2014. This has been Nathaniel Dedman for yet another Murray Football League Club My Whaler show.